guys, hope you're well and welcome back. Now today I'm sharing with you guys a life update. I realise that so many of you guys follow me over on my Instagram, but so many of you guys don't. So other than seeing like my cleaning content and stuff like that, you don't really know what goes on in my life because I don't really vlog too much or anything like that. So you see bits and bobs when I'm updating you through here, but you don't really get an idea of a bit more of the personal side of me and my life and stuff like that. And I get for some of you, you're just not interested. But for those of you that are, I would highly recommend you coming over onto my Instagram. I post regularly on there, mainly on stories. I'm always waffling about something, but I'll leave my handle on the screen for you to come over. But for those of you that aren't, I thought I would do a little bit of a life update. I asked over on Instagram what people wanted to know a bit more about, and there are certain topics that I want to cover over here anyways. And I'm just going to jump straight in. I'm going to start waffling and sharing with you a bit of a life update, really. Okay, so where do I start? I don't even know. I think I'm going to start with the boys and just speak you through a little bit about those, give some really little updates about both of those. So Parker turned 2 in June. He has gotten so big now. I cannot believe my baby is no longer a baby. He is a toddler. He is a tantruming toddler. You would have seen my stresses over on Instagram if you follow me. And yeah, I mean, he drives me insane, but he is the cutest little baby. I was going to do a 2-year update. Let me know if that's something you're interested in. I did a lot of them when he was younger and haven't done one since he turned around 1, I think it was, maybe a little bit before that. So I think I might do an update over on here because I like to look back on them, and also I like to see how he's getting on and stuff like that, and I love watching other people's ones. I was very concerned with him at one point that he was very far behind. However, he just has come on leaps and bounds in the past few months. His speech has come on so much. He is talking all the time. His current phrase is that he wants to go on holiday. So if you ever hear him, he's like, "Mummy, I want to go on holiday." And I'm like, it's because he's heard us talking about holidays so much recently. But yeah, he has just come on leaps and bounds. He is just so clever. He is still sleeping through the night. Yep, can I get an amen? He is still sleeping through the night. So last night I put him down at 6 o'clock. He didn't wake up until gone 7 o'clock this morning. I know, I'm very lucky with that, but he has dropped his daytime nap. So that is a bit of a killer. He's also at nursery now as well. So he goes nursery 3 days a week from 9 till 3. That is primarily more so I can work, but since going to nursery and starting, it was last September I think he started, so he was just over a year, almost a year and a half when he started. He has come on so much. So if any of you are kind of in that limbo, like you love your baby but you want to send him to nursery and you're not sure and you feel guilty, 100% do it. He has just been at the same nursery as Klayton recently, and Klayton's obviously about to leave, which I'll move on to it in a second, but he's been loving it. So yeah, we are also contemplating moving the boys into a bedroom together. So Parker doesn't yet have a pillow or a duvet, and he's still got his cot side up because he's not trying to climb out of it. So I'm contemplating taking down his cot side and then maybe moving him in with Klayton. So many people are telling me I'm going to regret it, and if any of you have any input to this, I would love to know. So Klayton is banging on about them having the same bedroom and sharing. And I don't know if it's going to be a good thing or a bad thing, and I'm just going to move the cot in for the time being and see how they get on before I go and buy them anything like bunk beds or any joint kind of bedroom stuff. But yeah, let me know how and what your opinion is on that. But yeah, other than that, I mean, he's come on so much. He can physically do a lot more now as well as mentally. Like, he's feeding himself, which I know was like a massive struggle for me, and yeah, he's just doing really well. So when it comes to Klayton, Klayton is just Klayton. I have no words for the boy. He is my loving, boisterous, energetic, clever, cheeky, just everything all wrapped up into one. He has so much energy. He's always on the go. You could have him running for hours and he would still have enough energy to keep going. He's recently going through this phase where of an evening he doesn't necessarily want to sleep. So we'll put him to bed and he'll be mucking around for hours, building us trowels with his bears and books. And then last night I caught him in our bed watching YouTube. Didn't realise he was doing that, but yeah, he was in there, so I've had to hide the controller now. He is in his final week at preschool. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's getting to me. He's done a couple of stand play sessions at his new school that he starts in September, and we've got to go out and buy his uniform and stuff like that. But I mean, I just have no worries with that boy. He is so confident, and we got his learning journal back from his teacher that she'd been doing the whole year through. and she said when I looked through it, it was in one of the first weeks, she was like, oh, Klayton settled in really well, as if he's been with us here forever. And that is Klayton down to a T. He's got all the girls in the nursery at the moment. I don't know what that says about the future, and I'm a bit worried, but bit of a ladies man, loves to play with the girls, but yeah, I don't really have much else to say about Clay. He's just one of these kids that just thrives. He's got so much back chat at the moment, and he's just too clever for his own good. He's got so many answers for everything. He told me that when he starts his new school, he doesn't want to wear a uniform. He wants to go in a gecko outfit from PJ Masks. He wants to have a mask, and he wants to wear red trousers. Take that as you will, but yeah, other than that, he's just doing really good. He thrives in everything. We are currently in the process of signing him up to like some more extracurricular activities, so come September we know what he wants to do, what he likes. So we're looking at jiu-jitsu, football, rugby, and he does swim in. He'll always have to do that. But yeah, Klayton is just good, and I love him to pieces. Okay, so following on from this, I'm going to talk to you about baby number 3. I have covered this so many times on my channel, but lots of you guys ask me about it. And me and Adam are at the point where, go back a couple of months ago, I think I was like, we're not sure, but we're at the point now where actually baby number 3 is a dead cert, and if we are blessed enough to be able to have another baby, then we are definitely going to try for one, which is really exciting and nervous all wrapped up into one. I have been so broody for months now, and so many of my friends and neighbours and people at the nursery have been falling pregnant and having babies, and I've just been watching and I've been broody but not quite there. Now I'm there, and I'm so ready for baby number 3. I think I'm destined for 3 boys, so I'm mentally prepared for a 3rd boy to come along and join the clan. But I did say, like, how do you know when 3's enough? Like, what happens? I said to Adam the other day, because he was like, 3 is our limit, even though he wanted 4 when I met him. And I said, yeah, but what happens if I do just want a 4th? Because I feel like in my heart of hearts, I was one of 4 and he was one of 2. And I always said 3 and he said 4, and now I feel like, what happens if I do want a 4th? I think that'd be money dependent, but yeah, it won't be this year, that's for sure. I want Klayton settled at school and all stuff like that, and I want to spend a bit more time with Parker, and I just want to know that we're done. I want to enjoy another Christmas and stuff like that, but it will definitely be into the next year. And that leads me on to my next topic, which is the trip of a lifetime. So you guys would have known we were deliberating about a holiday for ages, where we was going to go, if we was going to go away in the summer. And to go to Europe, the all-inclusive prices are just so expensive in comparison to if we went further afield to the Caribbean or somewhere like that. So we had a look, and we've actually decided to go to Walt Disney. We are going to Florida in March. I am super, super excited. I cannot wait. It's just been something that, I mean, my dad always said to me when I was younger, oh, I'll take you to Disney Florida one day. And I remember some of my friends going, and Adam's parents were the same. They said that they would go with him, and it was just one of those things. I mean, they're a lot of money. However, we have decided to save our pennies for the summer and actually book a holiday for March. So we are going in March. We're actually going with my in-laws. We are staying at the Animal Kingdom, and there will be lots of content coming up about Disney. I'm just so excited. So if you like that kind of thing, then I would love for you to subscribe. I would love any tips, recommendations you have on like food places to eat, best rides for the kids, anything you can think of that you think, yeah, she needs to know that, then I would love for you to share it in the comments below. But yeah, we're just really excited, and that's another thing. So we definitely won't be having a baby before March, but then March onwards, we'll adjust and see how we feel and go from there. Now, this moves me on to my next topic of moving house. Now, if you follow me over on Instagram, you will know that this is something that I've wanted to do for quite a while now. We only ever really anticipated living here for about 2 years or so. And it'll be 2 years in September that we've lived here. And I feel like we are outgrowing our home already. I know to the outside it looks quite big, but we lived in a very large 3-bedroom before we moved into this home, and it had a lot of external storage. So it had a utility room, it had a garage, there was loft space, there was 3 big bedrooms, and we had obviously just 3 of us at the time. We didn't have Parker as well. And yeah, and when we moved here, although this is like a bigger home that we've owned, we've kind of lost a little bit of space. We do have more bedroom space, but we have lost like downstairs. The kitchen's a lot smaller because we had a big kitchen diner. And if you go back on some of my vlogs, you'll see where we was renting prior. And so this was kind of like a 2-year plan, and we've just finished doing the garden and stuff like that. And I'm kind of ready to move, but I think now being self-employed, that's going to massively halt us, and it's going to stop us from being able to do what we want to do. So I do think we're going to have to wait another couple of years before we can do that, unless there's some like drastic change in like mortgages, or we have a drastic change in income on Adam's side because he's employed. Or I decide to return back to work, which I don't really see happening right now because I want to spend this time with the boys. But yeah, unless something like that happens, we're going to stay where we are for the time being. We do have a few plans for the house to maybe make the space a little bit more workable and usable. We're currently in the process of trying to get our finances together and stuff like that. So in turn, I will share that with you as and when plans come together. We're getting quotes and stuff like that. But yeah, that's something exciting that might be coming up. And one of the questions I actually got about moving is like, what type of home would I love? So ultimately, I would love to build my own home. And in Oxford, in the Bicester area, I'm sure it's in the Bicester area, they have this self-build scheme, which is a new build development. It's going to be ongoing for years now, and they basically allow you to build their own home. You may have seen it, it was on TV. I don't know if it would come under Grand Designs or not, but that was on TV. But yeah, so that's really exciting. That would be our ultimate goal, is to build our home. If not, it would to be do a massive renovation. But for that, obviously, we need to have a home to live in at the same time. So that's our only issue with that. Ideally, the next home has to have certain criteria. So I have to have a garage, have to have a drive big enough for 2 cars. I have to have a sink that overlooks a window. Silly, I know, but it has to happen. An open plan layout, because I realised how much I missed that from my previous 2 homes. I also have to have 4 big bedrooms at the very least, like 4 rooms that are adequate for the boys, because at the moment we've got 2 bigger bedrooms and 2 very small box rooms. I'd also ideally love a playroom and somewhere for people to come and stay, and like a spare room or a guest room or something we can convert from like a study or an office. Yeah, and also windows in my bathrooms. Sounds silly, but every bathroom that I have in this home does not have a window, and I hate it. So yeah, I'd have to have that. And also a nice flat garden I'm not gonna have to spend tons of money on. That's also another essential. But yeah, I love the idea of having a big kitchen with a big breakfast bar. We're such a social family, and I hate the fact that I have to take myself into the kitchen and I'm away from the kids if they're in the garden or in the living room. I've just never had that before, and I really miss what I had previously. So I guess that's what I'd be after. Also, a lot of you guys have been asking for a garden update. I am still waiting for our landscape gardener to finish our garden. It has been like since February, March time now. He has got a tiny little bit more work to do, and then the garden is finished. And the second he comes back and does that, and I am waiting for a response from him at the moment, but the second he comes back, I will give you our final garden reveal. We have almost finished. We are just in the process of like planting a few plants, sorting out an outdoor light because the last one we had was no good. And then we're done, we're good, we're sorted, and I'm loving it at the moment. I love looking out there. And if you didn't see, we did a big garden renovation, so I will leave them linked below for you to go and check them out. What else? Lots of you have been asking me about my diet. So, you guys would have known that for the last few months I was doing the Cambridge diet, and I've done it previously in the past. However, my consultant, as lovely as she is, unfortunately lives 2.5 hours away. Now, yes, I could find a local consultant a bit closer to me to continue with doing the Cambridge diet. However, I loved the support that Gemma gave me, and I really liked the diet as well, because for me, it's all about being quick, easy, convenient, practical, just everything, and that's what the Cambridge diet gives me. I've also been going to the gym and stuff like that, and I've also been doing the Couch to 5K. So there's been a lot of stuff intertwined. I'm actually now moving on to a different plan, which I think is going to work really well for me, and I'm really excited for this. I will be working with Muscle Food on their Do the Unthinkable plan. Now, I mentioned this over on my Instagram a few days ago. However, I'm going to be working with them and I'm going to be doing a 4-week plan with them. Both me and Adam are. Now, I looked to sign up to this ages ago now. Never got around to doing it, but it's basically all online. There will be an entire video coming on this at the end of my 4 weeks with like results and stuff like that. So I'm not going to go on about it too much, but basically it is a plan. I will leave the link below so you can go and find and see what they're about. But basically it is a plan whereby you get given 3 meals, breakfast, lunch and dinner, and also 3 snacks, and then you have like days off and all stuff like that, or you don't have days off dependent on what plan you choose. There's workouts and it's just really easy, and I think it's going to be great for me over the summer because I can do the workouts at home with the kids. But yeah, so at the moment I'm just going to be following that, and I will give you an update once I'm done with that. Now, a lot of you guys have also been following me over on Instagram, and I have spoken quite openly over there, and I've mentioned in like the odd cleaning video about OCD, anxiety, and more recently my B12 and folic issues. So I'm just going to kind of group these all under one because I am going to do a more in-depth video on all 3 actually, because they're all very different. But for anyone that doesn't know, I last year was diagnosed with OCD and health anxiety, and basically I was at a point where I wasn't sleeping, I felt a lot of pain, and I basically thought I was going to die on a daily basis. Yeah, so yeah, that was a really tough time. And when I was due to go away to the Maldives, I saw an out-of-hours doctor, and she basically said, have you looked into getting help with regards to anxiety? And I was kind of like, no, never looked into that. Anyways, I got referred and went through a treatment process for that, and at the same time they diagnosed me with OCD, which I always just think is those crazy cleaners on the TV that you see. But no, I always just said that I was an over worrier and an over perfectionist, and that I liked things done in the right way, and that would have been it. That would have all I would have covered on it. And like I said, I'll go into each of these in another video. If you think you might be suffering with either, I'm gonna do videos on these in the next coming weeks. But yeah, so that was that, and I went through treatment with that, and they're a lot more manageable now just using the treatment process. I am due to go back because they referred me from the basic therapy sessions onto like deeper counselling sessions, but I never had a chance because I was just struggling with time, so I never really had a chance to kind of go back and get those sessions booked in, and this was last year now. But I am definitely going to be looking to go back soon and get some more help with just kind of getting over it. At the moment, my health anxiety is stopping me from doing a lot of things. So I have recently entered to do the marathon again, but every single day that I'm out running and I think about the marathon, I get a thought that you hear about all these people that die when they're running the marathon, and I just think, well, I'm going to be that person. And then at the moment, Heart Radio online, I don't know if you've heard about it, but they do this amazing thing, and it's always been on my bucket list to do a skydive. And now I just feel like I don't know if that's ever going to be possible because of how much I worry. Like, I worry that I will be that person that will die whilst doing a skydive, which is ridiculous. And like, the other night I was in the shower and I got a pain in my front of my leg, and I thought I had a blood clot and I thought I was going to die, and Adam was at the gym, and what was I going to do? And yeah, it's really bad, but I'm not going to delve too much into it. It does affect me on a daily basis, but yeah, I'm going to leave that and put that aside. They're just this week's thoughts. So I'll talk to you about that in another video. And also I've been suffering with some B12 issues. So if you're a long time follower, you will know, but I suffer with B12 and folic issues. I was taking tablets for them last year, and then I ran the course of the tablets and my folic levels improved. So they put me on B12 tablets to improve my B12 levels. And I was meant to go back in February, and the guy that does my injections, the guy there, just my arms, my poor little arms, I think I've still got a slight bruise. You can't really see it. Oh, maybe you can actually, from the blood test that I had done the other day. But yeah, I put them off, so I should have had them done in February. And I've basically gotten to a point where I am really low again. And I was at this point last year where I have no energy. And for someone like me, when you've got such a get up and go mentality, to not be able to physically get up and go to do the things you want to do, it's really hard and it's really depressing. And for someone that likes their house orderly and tidy and kept, like, I'm not saying it's like it all the time, but I always go around and I have my routines, and then to not be able to even do my routines, it gets to me. So I went back and my B12 levels are still low, so I've got an appointment tomorrow, so hopefully I'll have more of an update. And again, I'm going to go into this in another video once I've had a little bit more info on it tomorrow, and once I've got more of a resolution, because the last one didn't really solve much. I know it's not my diet because I eat a lot of dairy and meats and all stuff like that. I also take like a multivitamin, so that's why I think it's something a little bit further than that, but we shall see. So I guess work-wise, I'm going to be sticking at this whole YouTube bit for a little bit longer. So you've still got me here. Like I said, my B12 levels have had a massive effect on the content I'm uploading at the moment and how often. And we're now approaching the summer holidays, so I'm a bit worried because Klayton is off with me the entire summer. Parker is still going to nursery 2 days a week, but Klayton's off with me. So I'm a bit worried about the content I can upload, but I'm hoping that I'll start to feel better in myself, have a bit more energy, and I'll be good to go with that. I've got some really exciting things coming up, and something that really exciting that happened a few months ago was I went and had an interview with Phil Spencer, which is amazing. I have watched him for years on TV. I have always idolised his programmes, obviously Location, 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 and he does like a with Kirsty is a Love It or Love It or List It, I think it is, or Lick It, Like It and List It programme, and they've just done tons of programmes, haven't they? So I've always watched them, and they called me in to have a chat with them about like my first time buyer journey, and it was amazing meeting him. He is just as lovely in real life as he seems on the TV, so that was amazing, and I'm hoping that content will be up and available for me to view soon. Obviously it's all in their hands and they'll be editing it, but as soon as it is, I will let you guys know. And how can I forget the fact that I hit 100,000 subscribers? I mean, I've mentioned it in a couple of videos. I've not really sat down in a sit down video. I mentioned it too often, but yes, I hit 100,000 subscribers. There is going to be a giveaway. I'm still in the planning process of it, and it'll be 4 weeks today, which is awful, I know. But yeah, I'm just so happy that I hit 100,000 subscribers. I feel like my goal has been hit. Like, it was never ever a goal to actually hit 100,000 subscribers. It was kind of one of those things that you think could happen, but probably won't ever happen. And then last year it started to become more realistic that it might happen, and so yeah, I am super chuffed. Thank you to every single one of you guys that follows me over here on YouTube. It really means the world to me. And like I said, obviously I'm going to give back to you guys, and I feel like if I didn't grow another subscriber, I wouldn't be bothered. Like, I've hit my life goals of hitting 100k, and the numbers really don't mean anything to me. Like, obviously I love having as many of you guys over here watching my content with me, because I love talking to you guys. And like I said, contact me over on Instagram if you ever want to get hold of me in a direct message, because I do miss a lot of comments. But always comment on my latest video, because I always respond to my comments in my latest video before the next one goes up. But yeah, I love having you all, obviously, but I mean, I'm happy. I'm not one of these people, I don't want to be YouTube famous at all. I just want to be able to do this, do the content that I love, help you guys, whether that's through budgeting, financing, organisation, parenting, whatever it may be, put content out there that can help you guys. And then in turn, I do a tiny bit of work that helps support my family, and I'm not greedy. I just want to do what is enough to allow me and my family to live, basically, and enable me, as long as I'm earning more than what I would if I went back to work, which I am, then I'm happy. So yeah, that's why you find that you don't see a lot of brand work over here, because I turn down so much, because I only do work that I 100% believe that you're gonna want to see, or that I 100% believe in, or have worked with or wanted to do, if that makes sense. So that's why the brand work on my channel is very limited, because I just turn down so much, because I don't need it all. And yeah, I mean, money's great, and money would solve the whole house issue, but I mean, priorities, I'd rather spend that time with my boys and not stress myself out, and all stuff like that. So yeah. Okay, so I am aware this video is getting very long. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to update you about, but I really don't think there is. I think I've covered a lot of the stuff that I wanted to cover. I have covered a lot of the stuff that you guys have asked me about. If there's anything else you want to know, if there happens to be enough topics, I could do a part 2 to this on my little life update. If there's not enough questions, then obviously I'll just answer you back in the comments below if there's anything else. But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting my channel. Thanks so much for watching. If you are new, then I would love for you to subscribe, because I do lots of content on cleaning and organisation, law of attraction, hauls, interiors, decorating, children, life, I mean, you name it. And ultimately there are going to be Disney vlogs coming, and there's also going to be like some health and fitness stuff as well. So I do a whole array of stuff. So if you want to see a little bit more about me, click the little red button below so you can subscribe for everything that's new. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It really helped with my channel, believe it or not. If you liked the video, for you to give it a thumbs up. And comment below if you need to know anything else. But I will see you all again in another video very shortly. Bye guys.